passed out on the floor in my hotel room. I don't know half of them, but they all wanna know me. And it's 4 in the morning, I'm just trying to fix myself. What the hell did I do? I'm the life of the party. I'm the life of the party. Somewhere in between who I used to be, who will be tomorrow when the champagne goes from.
All right, another great day coming back. What's this? Oh no! This one too. Oh, you see that right there? Uh-oh. That's so sad. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. As you can guess from the little intro I did, yes, this is about my brakes. I went ahead and installed those brakes maybe about a month ago. I had to look at when I published my video, and I did it a few weeks after my video, so it would have been about half however far back that video is, probably about a month and a half. So at least a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago still. And I've started to notice that, you know, we were kind of in a rainy season, but it wasn't too bad, you know, it wasn't like heavy rain, it was just kind of sprinkling. And my brakes were rusting, which I don't want rust on my nice performance brakes, right? Especially if I'm going to be painting my calipers. That just draws the attention to the orange rust and the orange calipers. I mean, yeah, I guess, you know, give it a break. It'll be color coordinated, I guess, but still, that's not really the look I'm going for. So I went ahead and I was like, oh, why are these rusting? That's just awful that they're rusting like that. So I wrote the company, and they asked for pictures, and they said that they would send the email with instructions on how to do that. A day or so passed, they never did. So I had to call them again, and like they wanted pictures or something, and all of them were rusting. And you buy them in a package, right? So you buy one axle at a time. So I went ahead, I sent them, I finally got the email out. We went ahead and I sent them a picture of I think one of them, or two of them, one per axle or something. And they came back and they said they wanted a picture of all of them. So I was like, okay, well, that's kind of weird. Why would you want a picture of all of them if you have to buy them in a set? I'm not going to, you know, just replace one per axle. That's kind of weird. Nevertheless, I went ahead and sent pictures of all of them, just to make them happy. It took some time to hear back. It was just a very slow process, a very frustrating process. And then when I finally heard back from them, they told me the problem with the Carbon. Because, see, I bought the Carbon, right? The Carbon Geomets series. And my dad bought the E-Line series, which is a step below the Carbon series. And he put them on his Jeep like a year ago. And he doesn't have any problems with rust. He still hasn't had any problems with rust, which I find kind of interesting. I'm sorry, I have like this streak here. I guess it's like a breakout on my head or something. It looks like a streak of hair coming down. I feel like an idiot, but anyway. I went ahead, and he went ahead and he put those on, and it's been a long time, and he hasn't had any rust problems. And he drives a Jeep, and he drives it in, you know, conditions that performance brakes are not supposed to be driven in. So, and we made sure to let him know that, and that these nice higher-end brakes from them were only about a month old. So what I ended up having to do is, unfortunately, the Carbon series has a problem with the manufacturing process. And rather than offer to correct the problem and get it out, I had to step down to the E-Line series. Now, they did pay the difference, or refund the difference. I think it was free shipping. I don't even have to send these nice ones back that I bought. But I had to step down to the E-Line series. Now, you'll notice, here's the manufacturing problem. I actually brought the replacements. I got them in the mail just the other day. Oh, I'm just going to flip you guys. Hang on. It's in a floorboard, and it's in an awkward place to grab. So, this is an E-Line, and they're also black. Let me see if I can shed some light on this. That doesn't help a whole lot, does it? But, This is an E-line. There you go. You get some light reflecting off of it. So I got the black ones, and it'll all be clear why later. So I stepped down to the E-line. I ended up doing that because if you'll notice, inside, the black coating is in these holes and slots as well. So basically, when they make the Kerbin series, and this is going to also be part of the title, your read, because like the title R1 Concepts, a scam. Yeah, this is what the title is going to be based off of. This is a stock 2008 Honda Element SC brake rotor. Hate to break it to you guys, man, sorry to burst your bubble, but this is a stock brake. So what they do is they order a stock brake from Honda, and then they will machine it with the holes in the slots, and then they'll put the finish on it. That's basically what they ended up telling me, and it's the same with all of them. So regardless of whether you're paying for the Kerbin Geomets series or the E-Line series, you're getting the exact same brake. The only difference is, and this is one thing that I was pissed off about when I got the E-Lines in, they assured me it was the same thing, and the only difference was the enhanced corrosion protection, which turned out to be a fad because these rust and the other ones don't. You'll notice these have less holes. So if we get out and we take a look at, this is a front one, by the way. When we take a look at the front ones, the nice ones, they have 2 sets of holes side by side. So ultimately, this is not as nice of a brake either, which is not exactly what I was told. I mean, I knew it wasn't it's a high quality, but they said, oh yeah, increased corrosion protection. I mean, it's not like, and also you're paying for a faster break-in period. The Kerbins are supposed to be really good with a break-in period, which they were. I took this thing out and they were broken in 10 to 15 minutes pretty well. But here's the basic underlying problem with the Kerbin versus the E-Line. The Kerbin series, which had some problems with the rust, they take the brake and they put the finish on it, the rust protective finish, and then they drill the holes and slots. They machine it after they finish it. So that's going to rip off all the finish in these holes, and these holes and slots are going to rust. And that's what I had a problem with. On the E-Line, they put they drill it and they slot it. And then they put the finish on it. This is digging into my thumb, this hurts. Then they put the finish on it. So you can see in there, it's black, it's not silver. If you look in the Kerbin ones, which I got, it's the silver. I got the silver Kerbins. I actually got these in black for a reason, so I could see the finish and make sure it was done the right way. This black is going to wear off in about 5 miles. They offer them in black, silver, and gold, and this is another little fad that they do. They have different colors. This color, no matter what you pick, this is going to wear off the first maybe 10 to 15 minutes that you're driving with these. This is just an anodized finish. It's going to be silver nonetheless. The only part that's going to stay black is the center hub part that sticks up here. So, because, your brake pads don't contact that. So, you can see like this center part here that's raised. That's going to be the only part that's going to stay black. If you get gold, it's the same way. Now, if you get silver, it's going to stay silver because metal is silver and the coating is silver. You can see how dull they were in my unboxing video. And now, with the footage I got of the brakes, it's all nice and shiny. Basically, that's how they're going to look regardless, because that's the finish that's been ripped off, and that's how you break your brakes in. That finish is very smooth, it's very slippery, and it doesn't break as well on that surface as it does on the raw metal, which is why this is designed to get ripped off. I don't know why they even bother putting it on there. It's like, oh, it looks cool, and it looks cool for 5 minutes, and then it all gets scraped off. So back to R1 Concepts kind of being a scam. Is it a scam? Well, you're paying a lot less for the product than you would from Brembo or what's another brake company that does? Stop Tech, I think, does it. You know, anything like that, it's going to be a lot cheaper. These R1s are. But this is not even designed to be, like, this is not a different metal. This is the exact same brake rotor. And they drill some holes in it and maybe make it a different color. And then say, hey, this is a performance brake rotor. Buy it from us. Now, not saying that these don't add any performance to your braking. These, I can stop, you know, in half the distance that I can with stock brakes. This is still a great improvement over stock brakes. What we're going to do is we're going to get a good launch going. We're going to brake torque it. And then we're going to go. And then we're going to brake. See? Told you these things are pretty good. So yeah, guys, that was some of the braking performance that we get from these, and that was not pushing the pedal all the way to the floor either. I probably should have looked in my mirror before I did that. I had no idea if there was anyone behind me. But that was not the full, like, 100%. That was just shy of starting to have problems with anti-lock braking trying to kick in. But with the holes in the slots and all that, the way these are designed, they are designed to start to resist locking up. I didn't feel ABS kick in at all. That whine you heard the whole time was the slots and the holes and all that, and the pads going over that. So that's what that noise was. And if you want a cheap entry point, go for these. If you want a cheap, easy, hey, I want to buy brakes that are better and they look kind of cool, go for this. But if you want to buy brakes that are, you know, like ultra track rated, you know, floating rotor, whatever, you know, with the special race compounds that they put in them and all that protection, this is not going to be the rotor for you. Granted, this was the E-lines that actually don't rust, that don't have as many holes, unfortunately, so it's not going to stop as quick. Those are 200, I think, for both axles. The Carbon Geomets series, which is the higher end one, was 230, and they refunded me the difference, and they shipped me these for free, in a pretty timely manner. I actually got them quicker than I got the first ones I ordered. And it's, you know, it's all on what you're going for. Alright guys, so I figured what we would end up doing is we would take a look at the website together to see what it has to say. And yes, this is a light. I have my lights to make me look pretty. I have to, or else it just doesn't work. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up going to the website. There it is. So, no, I don't want to sign up for your newsletter. Can I not? Oh my gosh, no thanks. Go away. So, these are the ones that I got. These are the high-end ones. Then we got the E-line. Then we got the Forge series. We're going to go and look at what the nice ones I bought says. Okay, so right off the bat, right here, you see superior corrosion protection, enhanced noise dampening. The R1 Carbon Geomets series is built to last. So, no, stop hawking your crap on me. Superior corrosion protection. Okay. Now, they don't tell you whether or not the superior corrosion protection is put on before or after they drill the holes. Which unfortunately, it is before. Which means that any of the slots and holes do not get this enhanced corrosion protection. Let me tell you right now, it's not just the slots and holes I found that were rusting. The entire brake rotor was rusting, especially if you got water on it. So, this superior corrosion protection, I don't know where they're getting that from. It's not. Product description. Aimed at high-performance driving, these rotors are designed not just for everyday use, but for street performance, track, off-roading, and towing/hauling. When you need the best performance, the R1 Carbon Geomets series will provide effective and quiet stopping power. Now, I do have to give it to them, these brakes are quieter than my Nakamotos that were on my Jeep. So this says the Carbon Geomet Series OEM rotor, so no slots, none of that. So you can get the drilled and slotted. So you can, I don't know why it's not letting me click on it, but so you got slotted. So here's the thing, Carbon Geomet Series OEM rotor, it says right here. But then if you go to, say, Street Performance, Carbon Geomet Series drilled rotor, it does not say OEM drilled rotor. So that's kind of a shady thing they don't tell you, is these are just stock rotors that they drill. And if you go to track, you got your slotted. If you go to like towing and hauling and stuff, you get your drilled and slotted. So here we go. Carbon, the Geomet finish, OEM vane configuration, split core technology, fine tuned. That is one thing that is on these that supposedly aren't, and the other ones are not as finely turned, which means your break-in period is going to be longer. High carbon alloy with Geomet finish. Engineered for only the best performance and durability, the R1 Carbon Geomet series boasts a very long-lasting, superior corrosion protection through its special Geomet finish. Not only does this specialty finish protect each brake rotor, but it also drastically reduces installation time. So here you have a direct comparison. Carbon Geomet series versus the E-line. Geomet corrosion protection versus zinc plating, which withstands 120 hours of salt spray. Well, this doesn't withstand 2 hours of rain, so I think that this comparison, the E-line kind of wins. Fine turn, this has a double disc grind. Carbon alloy, this is just G3000 gray iron. Supposedly they perform a little bit better than the E-line, which I do believe. They have a little bit more holes in them. So, now that we've looked at that, let's go with our E-line series. So this is going to be your E-line. Improve your safety by improving your braking. The E-line rotors, high quality stopping power at low and affordable cost. State-of-the-art technology, you don't need to choose between performance and budget, it's all there in a single package. Your brake rotors will last longer, cost you less, and ensure your vehicle's safety for 1,000 miles to come. So these have the diamond slots, others have the round slots. Supposedly the diamond slots, the slots are pointed at the end instead of rounded at the end, and this allows for a finer chute for dirt and gas and stuff to get out of. Which is what it's saying here, and I can kind of get behind that. I'm thinking that it with physics, this is going to be a lot easier to get out of than this. Let's see here. These are silver zinc coated, long-lasting corrosion protection against rusting. And these do a lot better job than their Geomet coating from what I've seen. And that's again because they coat it after they drill. They coat the carbon series before they drill. And that's just not something that you know, that's great. So zinc plated for corrosion protection. And they have the gold, they got the silver, and then they've got the black. Before and after braking procedure. You notice they're not showing the colors after braking procedure. That's because basically you can see you've got your before and it's all one color, and then after it's got this color in the middle and then this silver on the outside. Basically that's what it's going to look like with the other colors. So you're going to be black in the middle with silver, where you're going to be gold in the middle with silver on the outside. So this is kind of another comparison. You got your E-line. And then they've got their other products that they sell, which I actually haven't checked out. But it's a shame about these. These were it seemed like they would be really good brakes, but unfortunately, due to the way they manufacture them, it defeats the purpose of stepping up to a more expensive rotor, and that's ultimately, it's just ultimately what it comes down to. So, what are my final thoughts on R1 imports? Is R1 Concepts, not imports, is R1 Concepts a scam? I don't believe so. I think that they just have a problem with the manufacturing process. They meant to deliver what they put on their website, and they had a problem with their products and the manufacturing process. I think they should have put something on their website once they realized that they had that problem, because I'm sure they have stacks of brakes back there that have that issue. I believe that people should have been notified, and I believe that they should have either temporarily taken them off of the website or let consumers know that this was the case, and they didn't, unfortunately. I think we all make mistakes, and it's just something that got by them. Still, my opinion on the Carbon Geomets series doesn't change. I still wouldn't buy it. Save your money, go with the E-line. They look about the same, and they're not going to rust on you. Maybe once they change that rust issue, if they change the rust issue, then my opinion will change on that. I still, think the company's a great place. I still believe that it would be fine to buy from there. And I actually really am interested. First thing I did when I went to their website, I saw they had the new forged brake kit, the big brake mod that gives you everything you need to make your brakes bigger and put an actual aftermarket system, like stainless steel brake lines and all that stuff. Right here, 15% off too. They got their Forge series, and they got their big brake kit, and it looks really interesting. Like, they'll even paint the calipers and the hat in the middle. This is a free floating hat. See, you got all your different colors, and those, see, the deal with those are, whoa, and see, they'll even like paint and they'll paint your calipers and all that, and they even got the orange, the cinnamon orange, which I'm looking at doing. And the deal with these is this is not going to wear off because your brakes doesn't contact any of this, your brake pads. So they give you the stainless steel brake lines, mounting brackets, like everything you need, little shoes and all that. Aluminum forged calipers. These say they are also high carbon alloy, which I wouldn't put past them, maybe they are. Off-roading applications, all that stuff. You got all your special little colors. And they also give you different levels of pads. They even have the race series, which are for track only. So I really want to look at getting one of these for my car. The only problem is, if you go to buy now and say select year, and we go through this, see, they don't have an element. They don't have it for my car. And if there is anyone from R1 Concepts watching this video, which I'm sure is a hard video for them to watch, but if they haven't gotten this far, it's something I want to challenge the company, make it for more vehicles. Maybe you're already in the process of doing that. That would be great. I would love to put one of these on my element, and slam some of that down, do a review, do the process and all that stuff. See if it's a good solid product. You know what? I'm sure it is. I think with the Carbon, it was just an unfortunate turn of events, and it they'll correct the problem, and hopefully get that going. R1 Concepts, okay, let's just select a vehicle for now, right? So they got the piston position, we'll say front, so that you can choose your rotor size, and they do say that with the size, you have to make sure your wheels fit. So I'm gonna not go too big. We'll say 380. And you can get an 8 piston. So now you can change your caliper color. So you've got the black anodized, you've got the cyan painted, you got all your different colors. So I definitely go with the neon orange. You got all your different, you got your drills slotted, you got just your slotted, you got your drill, you got your floating hat, or your 2-piece hat. I'm not entirely sure on the visual difference of this, but I think it does give a performance increase. And honestly, that color right there would be fine. But I'd go with the orange. And you can even change the logo color from black to white. So I would definitely go with the black. But no, like this would be a really cool thing to put on my element, but they just don't make it for the element. So that's something I'd like to see. Is a kit for the element specifically. Unless they have a kit already, like one of these other choices that would work with my element, in which case I would like to know which one that is, because I might look everything up. No, I'm down to get a set of the Big Break kit and take a look at that. That's something I've always wanted to do to this car, and I think it would be great if they had one. So that's my basic opinion. Do I believe it's a bad company? No. Do I believe that they made a mistake? Yes. It's kind of what it boils down to. So yeah, that's kind of what ended up happening. So I'm gonna put these on, since I don't have to ship the other ones back. I'm kind of gonna ride on these for a little bit because my calipers aren't painted yet, and I don't want to take all the wheels off, change these, put it back together, then take it all apart in the spring when it gets warmer to paint my calipers. So what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna keep these rusting ones on here, and it rusts, really bad when it's raining. It doesn't rust as bad when it's dry. But I'll keep those on until about the spring, which, it's it's almost the end of January now. It's what, the 17th? 16th of January right now, as of recording this. So it's not gonna be that bad. I'm gonna ride on these for another, month or so. And then when we take the wheels off to paint the calipers, I'll paint the calipers on the messed up brake rotors, and then strip them off and put these on. But yeah, that's the underlying problem with the R1 Concepts Carbon Geomet versus the E-Line. You're not really getting much of a performance boost when you go with the Carbon. So you know what? I'd go with the E-Line. The rest is not worth the extra 2% performance increase that you're going to get. Granted, I haven't tried these versus the Carbons, and I can't brag that I have the Carbon Geomet series, track-rated discs, but these will do just as fine on the track as they will on the street. And honestly, you're not going to notice a real big difference. These holes, you know what the holes are for, right? If you guys don't know what the holes are for, these holes are just like what this ventilation is for through here. It is to let the heat out. It's to dissipate the heat. The slots, I believe, are for more grab. The holes are to help dissipate the heat. And for what I'm doing, I'm not going to have a whole lot of heat right now. And later on, if I end up taking this to track days or whatever, which I don't really know of any track days around here. This is Texas. We don't have any road courses, I don't think, around here. If you guys know of any good ones, put it down in the comments below. But then I will go with some Brembos. So there you go. That's basically what ended up happening with the R1 Concepts. Not very impressed with the Carbon Geomet. Would I recommend buying the Carbon Geomet? No, I wouldn't. It's a waste of money. Buy the E-Lines. Save yourself the hassle of having to ship them back and get the lower end anyway, because that's what's going to end up happening. Unless you like rust on your brake rotors, which no one does, especially when you have more open rims like mine, you can see it, and then when you paint that caliper, it's going to draw all the attention to the rust, and that's not what you want. So I bought these. They're going to end up being silver in the end anyway, because the friction is going to scrape all the black off, and it's going to look almost the same. You know what? They're probably not going to rust, because the finish is going to be worn off the braking surface, but not off the insides of the holes in the slots. So those will actually stay black, which will be kind of cool. The slots are actually going to be like black lines on your brake rotors. So that'll actually be kind of cool. It will stand out against the orange caliper that's going to be sitting right here. So I think they'll turn out to look pretty cool. But as I said before, there is a noticeable improvement in stopping distance. You're going to be looking at probably a 25 to 30% improvement with these, if not a little bit more, depending on the vehicle you have. This is a relatively light vehicle. It's got pretty large rotors for what it is. It's a family car. It's what it's supposed to be. But with the K24 A8 in here, it's got a good get up and go to it. I like it. but it still has pretty big rotors and calipers for what it is, and I noticed a massive improvement. I have noticed some noise, some extra noise. That's because I went with the semi-metallic pads, which are notoriously noisier than ceramic and organic and the hybrid pads. These are semi-metallic, so these aren't the racing pads. Racers often use more of a full metallic pad. They're very aggressive. You'll like see sparks from time to time. You'll see a lot of dust. It causes a lot of dust, a lot of debris. And that is actually, if you ever get track rated pads, they recommend you don't use them on the street because of how aggressive they are. So I think it does fine for what it is. This is still going to be an improvement over the stock. I'm just disappointed that I don't have the extra row of holes, and that I was kind of lied to be honest. The wording of that site is a little sly in some of the things they say, and so that's going to be kind of a downer for you if you're looking at the carbon. You're going to have some rust. It's going to happen. And they didn't even mention if they were going to try to fix their process or not. They said, well, you can always step down to the E-line, and all that. They didn't make a move to try and fix the problem. They just kind of put a Band-Aid on it by sending me the cheaper ones and then refunding the difference. So ultimately, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the carbon Geomets go away, because I assume everyone's having this problem. Let me know if you guys have experienced it, if you guys have it. I assume everyone has. And, Mr. Billy Big with his Mustang doesn't want his rust showing through his rims unless he just doesn't pay attention. He's going to ship them back too. And then he's not going to go for that, just get the cheaper E-line. No, he's going to go get some Brembos that cost him, $2,000 an axle, and then he'll be done, He's got a nice piece of kit, and he won't have rust. Granted, that's literally 10 times as much as these cost. But he's got the money. He's just going to go down the street and do that. So that's my experience with R1 Concepts. Not saying it's going to be the same for everybody, but they kind of did confirm that the carbon Geomets have a problem with the way that they're machined. So go ahead and let me know your experience down in the comments. Let me know what you think. And yeah, just giving you guys some information. Don't waste your money on the carbon. Go with the E-line. And that's going to be, I think, the conclusion of this video. So let me know what your thoughts are on this. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. We're going to be doing some gaming. I'm doing a Life is Strange playthrough right now. We're going to be doing some projects later in the spring with painting the calipers and showing you how all that went. So I'm also thinking, since this has a K24 in it, we gotta get modifying this thing, man. Like, this thing has, I've heard different figures. I'm so confused. I've heard that this car has 197 horsepower stock. I've heard this car has 163 horsepower stock or something like that. Regardless, I want to up that to somewhere in between the 225 to 250 range. 260 maybe, pushing it. But I don't want to get to the point where I'm going to be breaking the drive axles and stuff. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. And, of course, more Assetto Corsa Grid 2 Project Cars. I'm thinking about picking up Project Cars 2 soon, so look out for that on the channel. And subscribe for more content. But, yeah, I will see you guys around.